Now I want to focus on what you can do right now to make sure you are prepared to retire whenever you decide to. I'm joined by Kathryn Tuggle. She is the Chief Content Officer of HerMoney.com and the author of the book, How to Money. There are good and bad reasons for unretirement, Kathryn. And you just heard Cindy's story there. I mean, it really sort of broke my heart to hear her say that she worked since she was 14 years old, was looking forward to retirement. Is this a common thread that you're hearing about?
You know, I think a lot of retirees are worried about having to draw down their accounts when we are in a down market. Nobody wants to have to draw down on their accounts when they're going to be losing money. The other thing that Cindy said that was interesting is that she's working a couple of days a week, and it's work that can be done remotely. And I think that that is one important bright spot to highlight here, is that in a post-COVID world, there are more remote jobs than ever. And for seniors, they might not be that tech savvy, so I understand that that might be a concern, but so many large Fortune 500 companies are offering returnships right now, which sounds like internship because it's a lot like an internship, only it's for people who might have been out of the workforce for a while. So yes, people are returning to work, but I think that there are more options for them than ever before.
Yeah, and who wouldn't want to hire someone like Cindy with all of that life experience? She's such a pleasant woman. You think she could probably find a stay-at-home job, something over the phone if she needed to. I want to share some stats with you, Kathryn. I know you're well aware of these, but they sort of came as a surprise to me. 33% of Americans are saving less than 5% of their income, and 25% of Americans have no retirement savings at all. At what age do you think people should really start getting serious about saving for retirement?
I mean, ideally, you'll start in your 20s as soon as you are able to do so, because we all know the benefits of compound interest over time. People who start in their 20s, even if you start in your 40s and you save just as much, you will never make up the ground that you lost by not starting early. And so many of us, I think, when we're first in our careers, we don't take advantage of our 401ks like we should and get those matching dollars, which is just free money that we leave on the table. But, you know, when we do get older, there are catch-up contributions that you can make to an IRA and to a 401k when you're over 50 years old. And it's important that we don't lose sight of being able to make those as well.
And Cindy mentioned how it was so interesting, her Social Security isn't going up, but the price of everything else is going up. And I can imagine how frustrating that is. You worked your whole life anxious to finally collect Social Security, something you've paid into for so long, and you realize that it doesn't cover nearly as much as it needs to because of inflation. That, combined with the fact that people are also living longer, that must be an issue for retirement too. I mean, if you still retire at 65, but you're going to live much longer, you won't have as much money as you might need, right, Kathryn?
It doesn't seem fair. You know, it's the classic conundrum of having to do more with less, which is a position that none of us want to be in, particularly if we've worked since we were 14 to provide a happy life for ourselves. And many of us don't realize this. Many of us who have annuities and pensions that we're counting on, they're not all adjusted for inflation. And we saw that Social Security did get an inflation bump just this year, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. We're hearing that some food prices are up by 20% right now. That 8% bump that we saw in Social Security is not going to get us where we need to be.
And you mentioned 401ks. This is another sort of very interesting stat that surprised me about the average 401k balances of Americans. Look at this. Average 401k balances, people 45 to 54, 161,000, 55 to 64, 232,000 about, and then people over 65, 255,000. If someone has less than that average that they're seeing on their screen, is that something they should be really worried about, do you think, Kathryn?
You know, I think that looking at a 401k doesn't always tell the whole story, because for so many of us, we do have those pensions. Particularly if we started in the workforce, you know, several decades ago, we do have IRAs, we do have cash accounts, we might have brokerage accounts, and we might be able to delay our Social Security. If you delay taking your Social Security from age 62 to age 70, you will get an average of 8% return on your money, which is really hard to beat anywhere else. So I think it's more about looking at your total retirement picture, and also where you want to live. Are you going to downsize? Are you going to sell a home that's quite valuable and downsize to something smaller? Are you going to move to a state with a lower cost of living? I think, meeting with a financial planner who can help you map out all of these things is really so important, because you might be having stress that you just don't need to.
Makes perfect sense to think about the big picture and also think about exactly what kind of lifestyle you want to have in retirement. Kathryn Tuggle, thank you so much. You are always so good at breaking all of this down and making it understandable. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.